Hi Pisces, and welcome to November 2021 general reading. Okay, first of all, thank you guys for all the donations, all the support to keep the channel going. I really appreciate it. So you've got these two Lenormands. The first one is correspondence. So this is about news being received. And next to it is the compass. So the compass is about personal direction. So there might be this, we're entering into a 3-month period when there's going to be 3 moons that represent new beginnings and 3 moons represent endings. It's a really critical 3-month period, Pisces. And how we respond to it and how we keep navigating through it is what will determine the future. Okay, so it's going to be a big 3 months, to tell you the truth. So you've got this correspondence and a compass. So there might be a sense of, where do I fit? Where do I belong with that compass? Where's the best place for me? So there might be a sense about trying to get a sense of personal direction. Now, your ruler Neptune, I don't think it's going direct until January, but that doesn't mean you have to stay this sense of not being, feeling directed, not being directed until January. Okay, you can work with it, because I've turned around and another Lenormand's here about freedom. So I think, Pisces, you are moving forward this month. It might be that it comes with, so we can say endings, or we can say something that's reached, it's a, it's been accumulated, it's time to let something go and to move on to a new chapter. This is going to be the theme for everyone for the next 3 months. And to tell the truth, most people's readings are most people's readings are a little bit stressful, to tell you the truth, and the stress is coming through so head and heart being in a little bit of resistance towards the change. Everyone resists change because our need to have that feeling of safety is critical, and that's why we resist change. So let's find out. I'm going to pull 7 cards for you. Again, I'm keeping it in the 15-20 minute time frame, because it's just meaning that I can keep bringing some readings forward. What you want is a new beginning. Yeah, so this is the new cycle. The Ace of Wands is a very passionate, enthusiasm, happy to be alive energy. Yeah, and it's initiation. It's bringing something forward. The Gift is a Magician. Wow. Interesting. Challenge is a 9 of Pentacles. I'm really not surprised. The Magician's a very interesting card. I tend to read it a little bit differently. Everyone talks about, oh, it's manifesting. It is about manifesting. But I find with the Magician, a lot of the energy is behind the scenes. Like the Wizard of Oz. It's like you're building this incredible momentum to move forward. Okay? Relationships, you've got the Moon. Can I move this, please? A lot of people like to see the cards being laid out. 6 of Swords and money and work. You're definitely in transition here, look. So these are the beginnings, and these are being in transition energy. King of Cups at a soul level, absolutely fantastic, Pisces. So if this is not a person, the King of Cups, I want it to be you. The King of Cups, you might be dipping your toe in around an emotional issue, but the King of Cups is this card. If I would describe one energy that I was working with at the moment, it'd be the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is a very non-reactive energy. It's about peace. Yeah, And, you know, it's that sort of peace that comes, I almost want to say the peace that comes beyond all understanding. It's like the world might be a bit chaotic around me, but my inner world is unshakable. Pisces, it's stunning. I mean, that is the lesson from the last sign of the zodiac. We don't have to be pulled around by everyone else's currents. And I'm not saying that there's people in our life who don't need us to do something. Obviously, that's very different. So what you want is the new initiation cycle. It absolutely, you know, moving forward. It's a yes card. And the Magician's a yes card. But I do find when it shows up, the change hasn't fully appeared in the external world yet. And because you want the Ace of Wands, I think you want this whole situation to flip its lid. Yeah, you want it. You want that 360. You want things to begin to move. Okay. The challenge is a Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles can be like the Hermit card. It is about financial self-sufficiency. So maybe some of you are leaving behind a work situation that was the Five of Swords. So that might have been a job that was full of toxicity, backstabbing. And the Six of Swords is a moving on card, but it's not quite landed where it wants to be yet. So I would say the Seven of Swords was also very similar. It's in the Ten of Swords that the cycle of mind has completed itself. So you might be leaving something behind. You're in transition. I think this card's a very strong protection card. Yeah, because it's got the Weeping Willow, and in Celtic philosophy, that's about protection. It's the feminine aspect. So I think you want to initiate something and leave something behind. It might be this month the energy's building rather than the final, I've done it, because that cycle is going to be on and off for the whole 3 months, okay? The challenge of the Nine of Pentacles might be about feeling financially stable, okay? It might be for some of you. So if I leave behind an old situation, how will I survive? It's part of the universal theme for everyone, okay? Some of you might be dealing with a Virgo, and that's a challenge. Or there might just be a sense of, so these are almost opposites. These are very yang cards, very active cards. And the challenge might be, Pisces, that the action, you know, like a seed grows under the ground and then it pops through. Yeah, that's the way growth happens in natural law. So it might be this growth is waiting to burst forward, but you can't, it's not quite there yet because the moon in your relationships. So the moon is about being in the unknown. It's about being, and it's with the High Priestess, so very yin, very, I mean, the moon card can also be, I mean, the moon's about what's familiar to us, and most of us resist change because the moon has got a need to keep everything the same. Even if it's an unhappy situation, the moon will keep it that way because it knows it. And when we want to initiate new beginnings, there's always a friction between new starts and keeping things the same. Okay? Even though, Pisces, what you desire is this freedom from the known. But I think, as I said to you, I mean, the next couple of months are just critical, and finishing chapters and beginning new ones. And there's no one in this planet that's not going to be working with these energies, and the ones who are not are the ones that are going to get left behind. So you might need to reflect on, you know, do I want to get left behind, or do I want to move forward to the future? Or I'm at the Five of Wands, so foot on one floor and foot on the other, which most of us will be, by the way. I think there's no sign, it's not representing this tension between keeping things the same and familiar and initiating a brand new start. The King of Cups at a soul level, again, the King of Cups doesn't act, and it's with the Hermit card. So the Hermit card is rest and digest. I think the worst possible scenario for you, Pisces, I am going to say it, is you will not fully move forward until Neptune goes direct. And Neptune goes direct, I think it's January. That's the worst possible scenario, okay? Actually, that's not the worst possible scenario, is you don't allow yourself to follow what you truly desire, okay? The second is it's going to be when Neptune goes direct, because that's what you're ruled by, okay? But the King of Cups is... he's a king of peace. He doesn't allow himself to be... You know, some people live their life like puppets on a string. Someone just presses their button and then they explode. I think we all know, very fight or flight types. We all have it. The King of Cups is the King of Peace. So he's honouring... He honours his very, very deep inner world, and he allows himself to process his experience in his own time. And I guess that's why Pisces is the hardest card, hardest sign to navigate, because that is your process. And other people might be saying, oh, just go and do it, just go and do it. But you're honouring something that's way deeper than that, okay? So that is going on. Then you get the Seven of Wands with the Ace of Cups. And then I've turned around and the Ace of Swords is here. So this is, again, this is the Magician energy meeting you at the end of the month, which is about clarity around an emotional energy, and it's a new beginning, okay? So... oh my gosh, Pisces, it's so fascinating. So these are all the initiation of a new life direction. And these are all about just, it's almost like you're waiting for this, you're waiting for the green light, aren't you? You're waiting for some, might be inspiration. You're waiting for to know exactly when the right time is. That makes sense. First of all, you get the Seven of Wands before the Aces. See, a lot of people don't like the Seven of Wands. All they see is the boundaries. I don't. I see the door opening. So, I mean, it is a card about boundaries and protection, but it's also beginning to allow change to happen. And it's allowing the change to happen that brings in the two Aces. It's really, because it's going to be... so I'm thinking out loud, but this is a classic example of the energy we're going to be dealing with. What I think is interesting with your reading more than others, most people have got the Five of Wands, okay? That's the agitation. And agitation happens when there's a desire for change, but not the action. Yeah? You've not got that. And it's almost like you're going into your very... it's almost like you go into... You're waiting on this otherworldly Neptunian energy to guide you. And you don't get to control that energy. But then you come forward to the Aces, which is what your soul's desiring. And the Magician, honestly, when it tends to show up in a reading, I tend to go, oh, listen, don't worry, because the change is happening. But we cannot always see it. And that is when some of the issues come forward, because other people can get a little bit frustrated with us, that nothing's happening fast enough. We need to honour them. We need to honour them by keeping the door open, keeping the information flowing, keeping communicating. But you also need to honour your own process, Pisces. Like, you're not an Aries. You're not just going to run out and make something happen. You're going to honour your inner process, and when the time is right, you're going to act, and you are going to act. Because there seems to be a lot of change. I mean, the change is definitely happening in your finances. You're moving on from something. Yeah, you're moving away from something, and you're moving towards something else. And I would say that's what your soul's desiring. It's what you're looking for. Don't get stressed out about the time factor. Try, if there's people in your life that need to hear from you, Pisces, don't shut down completely, because that leads to very difficult psychological spaces. Keep the door open, keep communicating, so that other people feel, oh, I'm okay. Do you understand? I'm okay. I'm just going through my process. That's how Pisces operates. You cannot not be who you are. And the world would be awful without you, Pisces. Can you imagine it? Oh, boy. Honour who you are. You're headed towards a brand new chapter. I'm glad you're not in the Five of Wands. It might be that you're a little bit in your inner space, you're in the moon, but you're not in a state of antagonism with the world. And if people are antagonistic with you, just understand that they might just need to hear some messages from you about where you're at. Keep communicating, and then move forward to this beautiful new reading. Pisces, 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 absolutely beautiful reading. Just trust and say to yourself, I don't want to be one of these people who are left behind. I want to follow my passions and my desires. And if I need to wait on different energy, then that's who I am. And just keep informing people rather than blanking them out, because that's a challenging part of Pisces, yeah? Not in the Aquarius way, just in a very Pisces way. So lots of love, guys. Bye.